Now, the thing I was about to say was, I know he wasn't having that great of a game, but D'Angelo Harrison wasn't on the court for the last 5 minutes. Now, if you want to try and catch up by scoring points, wouldn't you want your leading point scorer to come in?
I mean, at the time, I agreed with him being on the bench just for the simple fact that
He wasn't doing well.
During that run we went on, the players on the floor, I think it was Branch, Hooper, I think Borgo was in there for a while.
Yeah, he was.
Pointer was in there, and probably Jakar. I think those were the five that were on the floor. I keep rolling with those guys because D'Angelo didn't have his A game today. I don't even think he had his B game.
He was 3 for 13 from the field. Played 29 minutes, 9 total points, 3 assists.
All 3 of his field goals were 3-pointers too.
Yeah,
and they were deep too. They were just kind of they were like 33-footers. It seemed like just chucking shots up. It seemed like at the end of the shot clock. I mean, and he's great at hitting those. I mean, he's one of those guys that at the end of the shot clock, give him the ball, he'll do something.
But you see, they had Pointer in there at the end of the game, right? And I know you want to, get the defense, but by then you're fouling them, so you're not going to play defense
I think they went the defense-offense switch.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they brought Pointer in they took Hooper out and put Pointer in. I think they were doing that a lot. And who came on? I guess it probably was Orlando that was also in the game.
But see, with Pointer in there, I'd rather have D'Angelo Harrison in there. Mainly because I'd rather see Harrison try and shoot a 3 than Pointer, which he did.
Yeah, but when Pointer, the idea with Pointer is during the double team before they foul, because Pointer's really good at stealing the ball and everything like that. And there's a couple, and like you said, event staff goes down at 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean the referee was calling. Like, even before the St. John's guy touched him, he was calling a foul because Don Pointer had that ball tied up twice at the end of the game. And the referee was either out of position or he just called a real quick touch foul.
That's what's really hard about basketball in general these days, especially college basketball.
It's hard to watch. I'm telling you, that was the longest 30 seconds of my life.
30 seconds, that was a minute.
I know, but
yeah.
When I looked at the clock, it was 30 seconds when I thought it should have been, 30 minutes done with.
But refs are real quick to call fouls in today's basketball game, especially college basketball. You try and trap, you try and full court press, you're going to rack up the fouls.
Yeah, and then one other big point about this game, our star freshman, Rasheed Jordan, did not play last night.
Tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis.
The inflammation of the tonsils.
He
was diagnosed with that 2 hours before the game.
I'll
tell you that much.
2 hours before the game?
2 hours before the game.
I don't want to knock him. He had a great season, but I know you're not in the tournament. But if this is not the tournament, if this is the NCAA tournament, is he going to play?
Exactly. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's MIT or the Big Dance. Say St. John's got in as a playing game. Say they were in Xavier's spot.
Yeah.
Last night playing against NC State. I mean, the kid proved in his freshman year that he's going to help build this team for the next 4 years or next 3 years, however long he wants to stay, whatever. So exactly, does it matter the height of the game? Does that determine whether you play or not?
I mean, you're a Division I athlete. I mean, God knows he went through so much this season, like on and off the court, and like.
I mean, he still had a terrific season.
Yeah, he had a great season. I'm not trying to bash him or anything, but like. If this is a playing game, he's going to play. And this is NIT. I think he should have been playing.
And if you look even at the Big Dance, when you're researching what teams you're going to take, they'll say like, oh, well, this point guard's playing with a sore ankle, but he's still in. Just because, that's the game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if St. John's is New York's team, then I don't want to be in New York. I think Albany's but more of a New York's team than St. John's.
They made a nice presence last
night.
They're
They're in the tournament.
Yeah.
Albany is more of New York's team than St. John's. Of course, I'm going to go with Syracuse as New York's team. I disagree with St. John's, and if they are, I mean, why? Because they don't show up when they don't want to be playing the NIT and they want to play in.
I mean, and that's a perfect reason why why we're not a tournament team.
Yeah.
We don't even show up for NIT. What makes us think that we're going to play in the tournament?
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to be New York's team. Why? I don't think we should be labeled that. If you want to be New York's team, you got to play like New York's team. New York is looking for a lot of stuff.
I mean,
New York is looking for Yankee caliber. They're looking for Giant caliber. St. John's, no.
And it's the same thing every year in the beginning of the year. This is our year. We have top 25 talent, but it's the same thing at the end of the year. We don't finish the year off.
And like we discussed last week, I mean, there were so many games that you could say could have went our way.
Yeah.
And I could look at the schedule and pick 4 or 5 games. Right? Say we get 4 wins out of that. That's 24 wins. We're a tournament team.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Like that's the difference between the tournament teams. I mean, they actually make it happen.
Same team. This was the same team that we saw last night that kept it close with Syracuse, kept it within pretty much 5 the whole game.
Close games against Nova.
2 close games against Nova.
That beat Creighton and held Doug McDermott under 30.
Beat Marquette in Marquette, which isn't easy to do in double overtime. And then they get blown out by Robert Morris.
That first game of the season, we played a tough Wisconsin, and second half we played.
Second half we cut it to, I think it was like 2 or 4 or something like that, and then they got away in the end. But Wisconsin's the number 2 seed in the tournament.
Yeah, and it was a typical St. John's game. I mean, you
Yeah.
let them get out to lead early, try and cut it back, and you can't finish at the end.
Last semester, when I was working with Cover 3 with Mike Rosillo and Shea Omanara, we had Tariq Turner in, and we also had Jaden Daly. There was a few interviews for before the college basketball season started, and they said, quote, the words "Sweet 16."
I mean,
they said we have the talent to be a Sweet 16 team.
I absolutely think we have the talent to be
too.
there, but we can't put it together in the end.
Now,
and
who do you blame for that?
I was just gonna say, does this fall on Steve Lavin?
I think it does, definitely. This is 3 straight years. Particularly, I mean, I'll give him the first year. All right, the first year we had all these freshmen. We had a 7-man rotation. It was ridiculous.
It was his second or third year here.
Something like that.
The first year we did good under him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the tournament and everything. Or is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about our freshman year.
Our freshman. Okay,
our
okay,
freshman
okay.
year, we had a 7-man rotation. Listen, I get it.
Led by Mo Harkless.
We weren't expecting much anyway. It was all freshmen, pretty much.
Yeah, it was.
So, and then last year, we had more of, experience, and we were able to get more players and things like that. And, we were right there. I mean, we won an NIT game last year.
Yeah, that was that and buzzer beater divide down pointer last year. That was a great game. I was so pumped. I had bragging rights over my my cousin and my uncles.
St. Joe's they beat, right?
Yeah, it was great.
And now this year, Sweet 16 kind of talent, great recruitment class. We have Rashid Jordan coming in. We also had Primo finally eligible to play. And look what happened. We didn't even win an NIT game.
It's just quite.
This team didn't have the heart to keep up with the big guns in the NCAA this year. And I mean, I read somewhere before the Big East tournament that St. John's was looking to extend Lavin. I have yet to see anything about that.
I mean, Lavin,
ever since the one and done the Big East and the one and done the NIT.
Lavin is what? I think he's the second highest paid coach in the Big East, and he's I think top 10 in the country or something like that. That's insane. Your team doesn't make the tournament, and you're top 10 in the nation.
He's a great speaker.
He is a fantastic speaker.
He's a great recruiter.
Great recruiter, yes, absolutely. And that's you can see that in our top 25 talent.
Yeah.
It's just a question of he's not a game manager. Is that the right word?
I guess you can say that.
Like we need an X's and O's guys like Dunlap. Like when we had Dunlap, he was the X's and O's guys. He was a great assistant coach for us, and it was just a way to execute the on-court play. Like Lavin did the recruiting job, and I feel like Dunlap, he set the plays and he taught them how to play the game, and that's why he went to the NBA. Sadly, he got let go by the Bobcats, but I mean, we need an X's and O guy to help lead this team.
Definitely
from the sidelines. I mean,
Well, that's our rants about St. John's basketball. Another disappointing season. It's just really speechless. You don't know what's going to be in the future. I mean, most of the guys are juniors.
We lose Orlando, God's gift, and couple, and Marco Borgo.
Right.
Those are the ones off the top of my head that I can remember.
Those are the ones off the top of your head because they actually get a little bit of playing time. But the rest of them, D'Angelo Harrison's a junior. Rasheed Jordan's a freshman.
Hopefully he comes back.
Hopefully he comes back.
I think he should.
That he might not come back, but
I think he should come back. I think he needs that one more season to polish up a few things about his game. But
I don't think his draft stock is high enough for him to be leaving right now.
And then we got Jakar here still. I mean, he could go, but I think he needs to come back for one more season.
I mean, so the potential's there for them to come back. The core of the team coming back and hopefully redeeming themselves next year. Because this was pitiful. We're gonna keep up with the NCAA, but this time we're gonna get into the big dance, guys. The tournament. We each have our brackets, and we're each gonna discuss each and every game. Hopefully not into too much depth, because we only have an hour and a half left of the show. So stick around. You don't want to miss our picks. Some might surprise you here on SportsStop on WSJU Radio.